Going live. So, hey, we are live. Looks like we are live. Hey, you guys. Welcome. You know, people say to me on these webinars every once in a while, they're like, hey, what's with the headband? The other day I said, well, it's just covering an injury that I sustained in the Civil War. That's how old I am. But really what the headband is, it's representative of the fact that I am a ninja, a traffic authority ninja. Now, if you're one of the 500 or so people who join us every morning on radioleverage.com, you know what the ninjas are. It's kind of like a secret society, right? We're a secret society in the realm of the whole traffic authority community. We're the ninjas. You can be a ninja too. All you got to do is join us at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give us a telephone call. At the end of today's webinar, I will show you. Hey, simmer down there, Doug. That's Doug Wellens down there who's making all that racket, as you can see. He's a little wound up. He's in Tallahassee. We'll get to Doug in a moment. But yeah, this is really because I'm a ninja, right? It's because I'm one of the traffic authority ninjas. We meet every single morning. We are very proactive. This group of ninjas is, it's really, really a cool thing. I invite you guys to join us in the morning, or you can listen to our replays if you're working at JOB or it's the other side of the world. We're at radioleverage.com. And at the very end of today's webinar, I'm going to share with you some details on how you can get there and how you can find that. I do want to welcome a worldwide audience we have this evening. Welcome into my condo, okay? I'm about to move into a new house. Where do you see that broadcast? But welcome, okay? This is Traffic Authority. This is Tuesday evening, and this is what we call our resellers training, resellers webinar. Last Tuesday, we had a killer webinar. I invite you guys to go watch the replay of that. The very first professor is what I call him in the Traffic Authority community. Darren joined us last week. Tonight, I think, you know, I really believe that this is going to be the grandest, the biggest, the most important webinar that we've ever had here in Traffic Authority. Going all the way back to the very first webinar we did, I think it was about 2 months ago on August 5th. And you know, it's kind of like the end of an era. What we've just come through in the last couple months has been dynamite. It's been exciting. I don't know, I saw a statistic today, I think maybe $700,000 in commission, give or take, has been paid out by the Traffic Authority organization. And we're still coming through some bumps and some bruises. We're still putting some things into play. And tonight is really, really exciting because tonight Adam is here. Adam Whiting is here. I refer to Adam as like the boy wonder. We're also being joined by the greatest of all rock stars. Vince Ortega is here. Co-founder, okay, Doug Wellens. You can see him down there right in the middle. Doug is joining us tonight from Tallahassee, Florida, which is the headquarters of Traffic Authority. He has a special guest. One of the co-founders that we rarely hear from. His name is Chad. Yes, Chad is a real person. But, you know, before I introduce these guys, I'm going to go to you, Douglas, first. Before I get there, though, I just want to make a quick comment here about what is about to happen in the Traffic Authority. Okay, we've come through the pre-launch. We've come through the first 30, 45 days of actually being in the market. And finally, tonight, you're going to see everything is complete. The dashboard in your member back office, all of the stats, some new marketing links. You're going to see where there are 40 marketing videos that absolutely kick ass available to you. You're going to learn about some of the other things that are taking place, the things that we do every single morning, the swipe files, how you can take action right here, right now, tonight, and begin making serious money. Way more serious than the $600,000-700,000 grand that was already paid out in the first 7 weeks of Traffic Authority. That's for real. We're about to enter into a phase called momentum. That's what's happening here. And a little bit later, you're going to hear from Adam Whiting, and he knows really what can happen when momentum kicks in an internet-driven program like we have here with Traffic Authority. It is dynamite, man. So get ready, okay? This is when it really gets good. What we are looking at right now with October, November, going into December, this is what they call low-hanging fruit. You've got the best of the best as far as tools, as far as support, as far as teachers. The ball's in your court. And it actually is a very, very simple thing to do. And you're going to learn more about that later this evening. I do want to welcome a large crowd. Let me check the chat here. Make sure nobody's, hey, there we go. Hello, Earl, Tim from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Rich Ward, hello. Ann from North Carolina. Noah. Dale Ann, hello from Los Angeles. Tanya, good evening. Lyle. Annette, Teresa, the Mountain Man, Earl Teets, dude, you're in the house. Hey, calling in from the UK. I want to welcome the United Kingdom. Also this morning we had Greg calling in from Netherlands. And who else do we have? We had Carl from the UK, Tim from Thailand. We do have a worldwide audience joining us here this evening. What I'm going to do, and thank you, I am a beast. Vincent is a beast as well. All right, what I'm going to do is shut the chat off so we can have your undivided attention here. We'll get back to some chatting later on in the evening. My first guest of the evening is Mr. Doug Wellens. Doug, coming to us from beautiful, I've heard that it's beautiful. I've heard it's a beautiful place that you live in down there in Tallahassee, Florida. I've also heard that the mosquitoes are the size of Volkswagen Beetles. And I've heard that the cats, or the squirrels, are like miniature mountain lions. I heard there's some crazy shit going on down there. Doug Wellens, come on out here, dude. What's going on in Tallahassee? How you doing?
Yeah, hey, Joe. How are you, buddy?
I'm excited to see you. I haven't seen you on one of our webinars in some time, dude. What's going on?
Where have I been, man? In the Bat Cave, right? Doing a lot of productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Got Chad over here in the background banging on the keyboards. Dude, you got to see this guy's keyboard. It is so awesome.
Does it have any letters left? Has he worn off all of the ink?
I mean, it's almost like it's a mechanical drive, okay? Like you got to hear this thing click out, man. It's so awesome. But yeah, it's beautiful here. Although I have to tell you that I could use a little sunshine, right? Even though we're in the Sunshine State, it's been a lot of monsoon weather over here. I heard you guys had a pretty big rain out in Arizona today, which is okay.
Yeah, it was a rain out. Joy was coming over to visit me, and she couldn't even get through. It's literally, the washes are running. So, not what they're dealing with in the Carolinas, though. But what's going on there, man? What's happening in Tallahassee? I understand that you've got some stuff you want to give away tonight. Is this true? Excellent.
Yeah. Can you see how thin this baby is? I don't know if you can actually see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like really... It's incredible. It's that thin. The box looks pretty thick, but...
Oh, it's an Apple. I want one.
Yeah. Well, hey, you got to get in the contest, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got one with your name on it, Joe. No doubt about it. And I'll tell you what, everybody that has received one of these so far to date has just been so overwhelmed with excitement. I mean, you see these videos, first of all, they're like incredible. I love it. But yeah, I mean, we love giving this stuff away. Uh-oh, that's my water that just fell over here.
It's an iPad Air. Is that what it is? It's an iPad Air, too?
It's an iPad Air. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This awesome. Is like the latest, greatest stuff here, man. But before we get into that, Joe, whoa. Before we get into that, we do have some winners from the pre-launch. Let's finally officially recognize all the people from week 1 and week 2's pre-launch, and then officially the full top 10 leaders that came through and just crushed it during launch. We should have done this weeks ago, and I apologize to everybody, but I also want to congratulate Anchor. Number 1 in week 1, Anchor. Number 2, Eric Bechtold. Number 3, Mac. Number 4, Chris Rivers, and number 5, Kevin Sosa. These guys earned themselves some serious traffic packages, and just going down the list, Anchor got himself a platinum package, followed by Eric and Mac with gold, followed by Chris with silver, and finally Kevin with a bronze package. That was week 1. Week 2, week 2 we followed it pretty hard, man. We were watching, I think it was it Jerry? He was crushing it, and then all of a sudden Anchor, he came back and just blew him away. But, hey, Anchor, you're the man, dude. Came in number 1 again during pre-launch, got himself a platinum package. And these are some seriously valued packages, Joe. It's $2,197 for a platinum package, and Anchor just scooped up 2 of them during our pre-launch, right? He's awesome. And then Jerry Moore, hey, man, this guy just rocked it. He picked up a gold, followed by David Jackson. I love that guy. Also picked up a gold. Eric Bechtold, he got a silver. And Chris Rivers on there again, man. I mean, that's just great stuff. He picked himself up a bronze package. And then we jump over here to this beautiful list of the top 10 winners in the full launch contest. I mean, Vince, I don't know, dude. You just rocked it out, man. And so, Vince, you got yourself a diamond package. And by the way, if we haven't already delivered all this traffic to everybody, it's going out. I just told Chad a few minutes ago, it's all going out here this week. Anchor. No, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Mac. Mac's in there at a titanium package, followed by Anchor with a platinum. So Anchor got himself 3 platinum packages during launch and pre-launch for just hammering it down, man. That is just awesome. And then we've got Kit Elliott. Great job, Kit. Also got a platinum package. Eric Bechtold pulled out a gold. Devon Brown, boy, you rock, dude. You got a gold as well. Sean Smith got himself a silver. David Jackson pulled in again at number 8. He got himself a silver package as well, followed by Paul Darby, my good friend Paul Darby, at number 9 with a bronze package, and then Rob 4 rounds out the top 10 with a bronze package. So, you know, this is what it's about. We love giving this stuff away. We love recognizing leadership over here. And, you know, everybody's got an opportunity. Everybody here has an opportunity to win something like an iPad Air. Okay, we made it so bloody simple, Joe, as you well know. We started the contest out on the 26th of September, and we said it would run through 6 p.m. tonight, which we did just a little while ago. Chad wrote this totally cool little, I don't know what he calls it, a query or whatever, you know, cron job thing, whatever he did. And he made it out, man. We had 226 people. 226 people actually in the pot here that rolled themselves into a total of 693 sales in the last 9.5 days here, whatever the number is, 9 3/4 days. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and you know, I said that we would give away 3 of these if we hit 1,000 or more people, if you remember, Joe.
I do.
And we came in just shy of 700, but you know what? There's a bar, right? There's a bar. We've all got to have a bar to go shoot for. So we're definitely giving one away tonight. We already pulled out the name out of the hat. I have no idea who this person is, and it was that little cron job thing that that Chad pulled out here. And let me just make sure I tell you guys the name correctly here. It's on my Skype here. Forgive me. And the winner is Chris Brewington. Just won himself a beautiful iPad Air. So congratulations to Chris. He's got 3 people that he brought into the business here, and he just won himself that iPad Air, man. So it's exciting. We're doing a lot of really cool things down here in Tallahassee. Carl is working it like crazy. I'm going to steal Chad's thunder here just a little bit because Carl is coming back here at 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning. And Chad will tell you what we're doing here on the database side. So you may have already seen a little warning in your back if you go try to log in, guys. You'll see this little notice in red just above the login name right there, and it says, be patient. 3 o'clock in the morning, we're going lights out here for just a little while while we take care of some technology upgrades. And it's just part of things that we do, and we know we affect people because this is a global opportunity. We've got people all over the world. And so we've got to be mindful of that. And it's not like we want to pick on the people at 3 o'clock in the morning, but we're doing it at that time anyway. It just works out to be that way. Jason is crushing it with the tickets. We are almost caught up, Joe. And we've got James working the desk, and we've got Betsy, and we've got Abby, and we've got Karen. So we've got 2 more people coming on the full support side, which will round up 6 people. And then, Joe, you and I, we spent the day yesterday going through the pile of people, about 126 people that out in the field. We went through everybody, and we read everybody's answers. Okay, you and I, Joe, were so impressed with people. We read their whys, their desires, what they do for a living or what they're not doing, and why they wanted to do this support, this telephone support. And that's what really it's going to be here, okay? It's not going to be a situation where people are going to get to hang on the phone all day with our support people, but they're going to be there to do the frontline telephone stuff, okay? We want to be as transparent as possible. We want to be as visible as possible and give everybody an opportunity to be heard and fix people's problems as quick as we can to get down to the real action here, and that's just driving traffic, making more sales, and helping everybody that we possibly can. So we're going to start with 2 people out of that list, Joe, and we narrowed it down. We had about 126 people. We narrowed it down to, I don't know, maybe 13 absolutely amazing candidates that we're going to be going through and actually calling everybody and doing some live interviews. So if you happen to be one of the lucky people that gets selected, you'll get an email, and in that email it'll just give you a couple of times that'll be good for us to give you a shout, and we'll just keep on going from there. And for the rest of you guys that didn't get selected, just know that we're keeping your data on file here, and there is going to be other opportunities that come up and arise, and you may very well be tapped for one of those other opportunities. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much for, first of all, just putting yourself out there, being honest and forthright, and just stepping up as a leader, okay, and want to help everybody here. And Joe, I know pretty soon you're going to be calling on folks to get involved in the Traffic Control Board, the TCB, and that ought to be coming up real soon here. So that's a great opportunity as we sorted through those 126 resumes to be able to pull from that also, to know that we've got some amazingly talented people here, and I'm really excited about that. Joe, I don't know what else is on my list personally, but I don't want to bring Chad in here in just a minute. He's just talking to Carl, and they're making some middle-of-the-night plans here. It's okay.
And speaking of the middle of the night, I do want to say hello. I was just checking right now. Hello to Belinda in Australia. And we have somebody calling in from someplace called Bahrain. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, B-A-H-R-A-I-N, where it's 3 in the morning there. Hello, Holland, and again, the United Kingdom is just checking in as well. International audience, and I want to say that the individual who's checking in from the United Kingdom actually became one of the first and opened up that email that just came out about an hour ago and already has their hands on some of those unbelievably cool testimonials. We're going to get to those in a moment. You know, we're going to be getting to Adam and to into the king of all rock stars. Vincent Ortega Jr. is going to be joining us here in a moment. But before I get there, again, I just want to remind people of something that that just happened, okay? One individual. What's the name again of the winner? I'm sorry. Let me write this down, okay, Doug? The name of the winner?
Yeah, Chris Brewington.
All right, Chris Brewington. And you said that Chris Brewington had his name was in there 3 times?
Yep.
Okay.
3 times.
All right, 3 times. So what that means really is Chris just enrolled one person who was all in, I'm thinking, right? Because you got your name in there one time for a reseller license, another time if somebody became an Optimizer customer, and then if they went all in, and then they became a member of the Traffic Academy, that was the 3. So Chris's name was in there 3 times. That's pretty cool, right? Because I know there are people out there in our community that are like crushing it. There's a leaderboard right now that you're going to be able to see very, very soon, and you'll see what kind of action is taking place every single day. But I like the fact that it's like a level playing field, right? Chris, actually, congratulations, Chris. We'll talk about you tomorrow morning when the ninjas get together on the radio show. But how cool is that Chris Brewington actually won the iPad? I want one. I want one of those iPads. All right, so here's what we're looking for, and we're going to get moving very, very quickly. Adam, get ready. I'd like to if we can get Chad just to check in for a moment and let us know what's going on and talk a little bit more about what does this mean. Okay, I know tonight from 3 a.m. or until 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City, here in the United States of America, we may be suffering some outages. And what is the reason? Okay, what is that? Why is that happening? And what does that mean to us as a community as we move forward? How cool is it? Chad, come on out.
No. We got Chad right here.
There he is.
Oh, man. The man, the myth, the legend. Mr.
Yeah,
Chad
there he is.
Salvi, everybody.
A real human.
Sign up for one of those headbands, man.
Hey, if you want to be a ninja, when I see you at the next live event, I'm bringing one for you, dude.
Is that a ninja?
Yeah, we're ninjas. Okay, everybody who comes together in the morning, we're ninjas. That's what this headband is. It's to signify that I am a traffic authority ninja, right?
We got to get one that has like a little, traffic authority logo or something on there.
Dude, don't give anybody any ideas. Don't let the cat out of the bag. We got so much more stuff we want to bring. Yeah, very soon you'll see the traffic authority logo right here. You know, and when Halloween comes, I may actually dress up like one of the turtles, like a ninja turtle.
But it is breast cancer aware month, so you should have a pink one on, Joe.
Thank you very much, along with my shoes.
He is an NFL guy.
I know. I am an NFL guy as well. So, Chad, I understand we're going offline this evening for maybe 3-4 hours, maybe 2 hours, an hour, whatever. What does that really mean? What is the reason? And what's the benefit? I know that you guys don't Mickey Mouse around, and if you're doing something that big, there's going to be a great benefit. We may not see it, maybe in the realm of servers and all this stuff that you know, So what's the deal, man? Why are we going offline?
You know, I like to keep your keep you on your toes, Joe. That's why. We got you know, like I said on that last call we were on, we've you know, during that first launch there, you know, we identified some problems that we needed to take care of as this thing grows. You know, we want to stay ahead of the game, so tonight is the night, or actually tomorrow morning, however you want to look at it, is the time to go ahead and address those issues so that we can finally put them behind us and actually start, you know, keeping up with the future of this. So.
And when you say keeping up with the future, you know, in your mind, because dude, if people don't know this, you did come on the radio show on a Saturday morning a couple weeks ago, and you talked about your history. I mean, you were there at the very beginning of automated marketing systems.
You kind of talk about
real.
Story, Joe,
For real. Okay. Well, that's what I do, man. I fill in the gaps here. Okay.
And he does a great job.
But what you said was that, you know, you were there at the beginning of automated marketing systems, and I know that that's true. And you also mentioned that, you know, we're going to be here for a long time. So when you make a move like the one you're doing tonight, this is really about making sure that we can handle 20, 30, 50,000 subscribers. Is that what we're talking about? What you see?
This move will definitely keep us within that range. But I mean, this is a first step towards a more bigger picture than that, Joe.
Fill us in, bro.
I mean, you know, as systems grow, as membership grows, you know, you need more resources, more servers. We're staying on top of that, and this is the first step in getting ourselves aligned with the influx that we expect within the next month or so. So.
Well, I gotta remind you of something that you said to me, and I mention this like almost every single day on the radio. Fourth down, bro. We never punt. We go for it on fourth down, right?
Right. We get it every time too, dude.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Hey, Chad, we're glad that you're on the scene, dude. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. I'll be getting down to Tallahassee very soon. And we got some big events coming up, live events, where we're going to be cheering you like on a chariot, right? We're gonna bring you in because you're the man behind the scenes.
No, that's great. But I also want to put out a big thank you to the development team, the whole development team behind this, because it's not just me, man. So.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is a big family of guys, men and women both, right?
Exactly, man.
Real. All right, thank you, guys. I'll let you guys go back to what it is that you're doing. I'm going to bring my boy out here.
All right, pink headband, Joe. Next time I see you.
Pink headband, you got
it. Headbands.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we'll all be wearing headbands. You know.
The only way you can come to the Tuesday meeting is with a headband.
This is what I'm thinking, and you know, and how about this? Okay, how about this? You know, this morning I realized that it was 4 years ago yesterday that Steve Jobs passed away. You know Steve Jobs, right? Everyone knows Steve Jobs. They won't let that guy rest. They have a new movie coming out, right? But in honor of Steve Jobs, I'm wearing the eye patch because Steve Jobs said, you know, it's better to be a pirate than to join the Navy. Arr! It's better to be out there making stuff happen, doing something a little bit different, taking control of the situation. Write it down. Steve Jobs. It's better to be a pirate than to join the Navy. Arr! Okay, enough of this. Adam Whiting. Let's get to it, dude. I am so excited. I got to tell you the truth. Love the shirt, too. Love Iowa. I want to tell you. Was it 70% vowels? I'm from the Chicago area, so I know.
Yeah, it says 75% vowels, 100% awesome.
I love it. I love it. Well, speaking of awesome, I had a conversation with you today. You showed me a sneak peek, and I went in there, and it was like, are you kidding me? The 40 videos, the new material. And then I said to you, is the dashboard really alive? And you're like, yeah, it really is alive. And I went back there, and I was like, auga. Auga, like one of those cartoon characters, right? So come on out here, dude. The floor is yours. Let's see what you got.
All right, man. Well, I think first of all, I'll just show you everything that we got, right? Because, I mean, half of the people probably haven't seen the update because we just put it out today in like the middle of the day. But, I mean, the bottom line is everything that we talked about last week, for those of you that do read our weekly updates and the marketing plans and stuff, everything we talked about last week is now complete. So what we told you we were going to do, we actually did. What do you know? And we've been waiting. You know, it's been a process. I mean, like, it feels like we launched the company and then we went through all these things, and and we had all this stuff on our plate that we didn't realize, and now we finally got to the point where everything is done, and it's like this huge weight lifted from my shoulders at least. So that's why I'm out here again. Is I just want to show you everything that we finally have, and then tell you what's coming. Because I mean, even though we have all this awesome stuff, and we can basically start moving forward and really, start building the company as the way that we should be. There's going to be a lot more stuff even coming out after this in the coming weeks and months and all these things. We have huge plans for this company, as we already have. But like I told Joe actually earlier, I feel like we've moved to the second phase of this business. The first phase of the business is kind of doing the launch, getting through the initial bugs, getting through the initial little struggles that you have with literally every single company I've ever launched. There's always been like these little things that come up that you never expect. It's like you have a plan and then a million things get thrown at you and you have to overcome them and just persevere through it. And once you do, then it's like you move to the next phase, where the next phase is growth, it's momentum, it's optimization. And that's the phase we're in right now. We're past the initial building, putting everything together, coming up with all the different fixing all the little bugs and things like that. We're past that. Everything is there now. I'm going to show you that here in a second. And now we're in this phase where you just go. It's like, you turn it on and you just start making sales and you go as hard as you possibly can, because the company's about to go into momentum. I mean, we're at this point, like even in the past week, since we started really releasing all this stuff, the momentum has already started to build. The sales have started to double day over day. And when you start to see that, that's when the real changes happen. You thought that the launch was big. The launch was cool and everything, but that's nothing compared to what's going to happen over the next 30, 60, 90 days. We put in 5,000 people in the first, just over 30 days. Over the next 90 days, we could triple that very, very easily with the momentum that's starting to build and with the resources that we're about to give you. I mean, and let me just go in and I'll go through some of the stuff that we did just in case you guys haven't read the update. Let me share my screen really quick and I'll show you what we got and how you guys can actually get to the update. So the first thing you can do is just go to the blog. If you want to follow along with me, you can go to the blog, and then I'll take you to the back office and show you what we got. The blog is blog.trafficauthority.net. So let me share my screen here real quick. Share it. Okay, cool. All right, so here is the update. I actually wrote this today, and I think Joe, you sent it out earlier, right?
Yes, I did. Everybody has this.
I think we've got it. The first update has been out. A lot of you probably haven't really seen it yet, though. So I'll just take you through it really quick. So first thing is last week on Tuesday. I know if you're on this webinar, you've probably seen this, but we actually did a reseller training last week with our first Traffic Academy expert. Okay, Joe's been talking about it for the past week, and people have been getting amazing results from it. We've been getting testimonial after testimonial. Those of you guys that are actually on the morning calls and on the daily calls with Joe, you hear it all the time. People are going through that course, they're learning new stuff, they're getting results. And it's super, super high quality. I'm really impressed with the first Traffic Academy expert trainer that we had come on, Darren Hanser. He did an amazing job. And if you guys want to watch that training, it's actually in the back office. So you can go to the update, click the link. It'll take you into the back office, and you can actually watch the replay of the webinar that he did for all of our resellers. Now, if you're not a Traffic Academy member, you won't actually be able to access the full course, but he actually did give us his full training course called Email Profits Bootcamp. So that training is actually live in the back office right now for Traffic Academy members. Any of you guys who haven't seen it yet, you can click on the link right here, and you'll be able to go in and actually watch the training. It's a full training course, $250 on the retail market. It's an amazing training course. I went through it, and I learned tons of stuff that I didn't even know about email, and I've been doing email marketing for a long time, and list building for a long time, and he taught me all kinds of stuff. And just so you guys know, Darren is actually the guy who writes our emails. So the emails, for all the systems and the businesses I've built for about the past year, I've actually kind of had Darren in my back pocket as my secret weapon. He's the guy that actually writes all the emails that you guys see on a regular basis. Like the promo emails, which I'll show you here in a little bit, some of the daily promo emails, he writes those. All the emails for the launch, all the promotion emails, and the Facebook messages, and all those things that you guys use in your marketing on a daily basis that are in the daily marketing plan. He actually wrote all that stuff, and that's his content that he actually, obviously we pay him as a consultant to come in and write all that stuff for us. But that just shows you how valuable he is. We actually pay him on a regular basis to write emails for us, and now you, if you're an Academy member, can be trained by him just for being a Traffic Academy member. So super valuable. And with that Traffic Academy, we're going to be bringing in a lot more people here in the coming months to be doing training just like that. That's kind of our vision for the Traffic Academy, is to bring people in to do training for all the resellers. So we'll always kind of structure it just like we did in this case, is we'll bring somebody in, they'll do a little bit of training just to give you a preview, and then inside the academy, we want you to have access to full training courses. So somebody that comes on, we want you to have access to courses that are $250, $500, $1,000 in the retail marketplace just for being a Traffic Academy member. And the reason for that is because we want that to be the most valuable training membership on the market. So if somebody comes to our business or your business and actually sees that product and they see what's included in it, the fact that they can get multiple training courses that are $250 up to $1,000 on the retail marketplace, paying $97 a month for that kind of training is a complete no-brainer. No, who wouldn't do it? Somebody who wanted to come in and learn how to become an internet marketer and how to generate traffic, they're going to pay for that membership. It's $97 a month to get access to things that are up to $1,000. Why wouldn't you? If I was a brand new person and I saw that, I would just do it. I'm like, oh, okay, $97 and I can literally go through all the training I want and learn all these different things. Of course I'm going to do that, right? So we want it to be like that, where it's just a complete no-brainer for your customers, and when you talk to them, you can talk about the value of it. It's not just, it's not just a live webinar. It's not just one training, two trainings. It's literally an entire suite of training that are all worth $250 plus that you can get access to for only $97 today. It's a pretty easy sale, right, when you position it that way. So that's the kind of power we want you to have in the market. And we're doing the same thing with the optimizer. We're building the capture page builder right now and finishing that up. Those products for $27 a month are going to, the value is going to far exceed what people are actually paying for that membership. So that's kind of the goal here. It's not necessarily to nickel and dime and add a bunch of different products and have all these different upsells. It's to have the most valuable products in the marketplace for $27, $97 for reasonable prices, right? Prices that anybody can afford to pay for a very long time. That's the point, is so that you can create a customer and have them pay you for a very long time, to keep paying for the products, keep paying and buying traffic, because we have the highest quality traffic. We want our customers not only just to come and buy something one time, we want them to be here for the long term. So that's the point of building these products this way. Most companies, when they build products like this, they would just keep adding products and higher price points to try and extract as much money as they possibly could in the shortest period of time possible, because they know that their products aren't good enough to keep people for the long term. Where we're completely the opposite. We're going to build products that are here for the long term, that are super valuable, so that people want to pay forever, and they want to have the membership, and they want to learn from all these different people who are coming on board forever. So that's kind of the vision. I know I kind of went on a tangent, but I just want you guys to know that's the thinking behind the way that we're structuring this. That's why we're going out and finding these traffic experts and paying them to come in and actually give you their courses inside the membership. It's not like they just want to come and contribute as much as some of them probably would. We actually go out and we pay them for their course. We license it from them. We provide it to you so that you can get access to it for that price. Basically we have to go out and give them the value up front so that you can access it. So just so you guys are aware of the way that we do it, and that's why, because we want it to have the highest possible value. So that's live back there. You can actually go to this update. You can click it. You'll be able to go through the Email Profits Bootcamp. It'll probably take you maybe 3 or 4 hours to go through the whole thing, but I definitely recommend you do it this week if you haven't already, because you're going to learn a lot about how to communicate with your list. And that's really the biggest thing that we do here at Traffic Authority. We do list building. You email the list and you convert those leads into sales. That's the core of internet marketing. So this is really one of the most valuable skills you'll ever learn. And if you just get on this training and then you watch the Email Profits Bootcamp, you'll know pretty much everything that you need to know about email marketing, at least to get you started in making sales. So I would definitely do that as soon as possible this week. The next thing is the reseller dashboard is live, like Joe said. I'll just click on this so you guys can see what it looks like. So you can see it shows the sales, shows all these different things. So we have sales, we have clicks, and we have leads, and then we have the residual income. So you can see the residual income calculator actually shows you how much residual income you have built up in your account. And then the qualification bank shows you your qualification level. So if you weren't, for example, this one's diamond qualified, but if your account wasn't diamond qualified and you actually hovered over these different things, it would show you how many qualification points you need to get to the next level. So if you're gold, it would show you, how many points you needed to get to the next level. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the leaderboard. So you can actually see who's producing sales in the business, who made sales yesterday, last week, last month, and all time. So if you want to go in there and see where you stand, you can. So, and I'm actually going to have them add a place in here so that you can see what place you're in and how much you actually made. So pretty soon here there'll be a spot at the top that'll actually say you, so that you can see how much money you made and where you stand compared to everyone else. So that'll be pretty cool. Now the next piece, the marketing stats. So this is something that everybody's been waiting for the past couple weeks, and the biggest reason why is because once you have the marketing stats, you can really optimize your business. So let me take you over to the marketing stats and I'll show you what this is so you can understand exactly what we're talking about here. So marketing stats, so basically what this is every single time that you go out and you actually market a link. So let's go over to the links. Let's say you grabbed one of these links. Okay, so this one for example. And you were going to put it into the URL bar. So here at the end, you can actually add a tracking ID. So you guys can see this, right, Joe?
Yes, we can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So this is how you do the marketing stats with our pages. You can just take the link, okay, and this account, the username is joined. So your account is going to be whatever your username is. So CP1, that's capture page 1. Then we have username, and then tracking ID. So the value of this tracking ID and adding this to the end is that you can see what advertising you're doing that's actually producing results. So let's say that you're following the daily marketing plan and you're doing 4 or 5 different kinds of marketing. You're doing Facebook, you're out there, contacting leaders, you're having Facebook chats, and you want to know where you're making sales from, right? You can't really tell where the sales are coming from because you just have a bunch of different ads out there and you're sending emails to your list and you're doing all this different stuff. And let's say you make 2 sales and you're just like, where did those sales come from, right? I don't understand where they came from. I wish I knew if it was from me sending an email, if it was from me chatting with someone, if it was from me posting on my Facebook. Well, the way that you actually tell is every single one of those marketing methods, you can add a different tracking ID to the end. So let's say you're posting on Facebook for one of your ads. You would put Facebook and then maybe the date. This is how I usually track is I'll put Facebook and then I put the date. So today it's October 6th. So I put 10/6 as my tracking ID. So basically that would mean my marketing on Facebook for 10/6. And then let's say I wanted to track something else. So let's say I sent an email today and I want to track that email. I would do email 10/6 so that I know, hey, this is the email that I sent on 10/6. And then I did, some marketing on Twitter. So I put Twitter 10/6. What's going to happen is every single time you put a different link out there and people click on that link, they become leads, it's actually going to show up in here. So it's going to show up in your marketing stats as one of these different links. So you see all these different links here. This was, this was somebody's campaign. Or this, this is the campaign for this account. I'm just in a random account. So Eric email. So this came from one of Eric's emails that he sent out. He got 2 clicks and 2 unique hits. So let's look at one of the ones that actually made money. So for example, this default one, this is actually the default link for Facebook CP2. So this means that somebody didn't actually add a tracking ID to the end of it. And this is actually the admin account, so it just catches a bunch of that's why it has so many hits, and stuff like that. But you can see that it actually made some sales. So it made 10 traffic optimizer sales. So you can see those 10 traffic optimizer sales are showing up in the total income. Same thing with this. It made a traffic optimizer sale and a traffic academy sale. So it's actually showing up in the total income. So this is how you can see how much money you're making from these different places where you're tracking your links. So hope that makes sense. But that's how you can actually see which marketing is working for you. Does that make sense, Joe?
It does. It does. Very exciting, man.
Cool. So, and that's one of the biggest things. I think it was holding a lot of people back, not being able to see what was actually working, right? Because it's nice to be able to go out and figure out what's working so that you can focus more on that. That's the whole point. Is once you see, let's say Facebook chatting is working for you really well, and you're using this link, you can see that's where all your sales are coming from. So you focus more of your energy on that, right? You focus 80% of your energy on the things that are working and 20% on things that you're testing. So that way you get the maximum results from the marketing that you're doing, from your time that you're putting into your business. So that's what I always recommend for people is 80-20, right? It's in the rule is actually that 20% of the stuff produces 80% of the results. So once you figure out what that 20% of the stuff is that produces the results, you spend 80% of your time on that. It's kind of like you flip-flop it. Once you figure out the things that work, you start spending almost all of your time on those things. And that's what's going to get you more results. So.
And I see there at the very bottom of number 4, it says watch step 3 marketing link walkthrough video on this page.
Sure.
So for people who are like, wow, that was really fast, what was that, Adam?
Okay.
There's actually video tutorials here, correct, for people to just take their time.
Yeah, on the marketing links page, and these were things that we didn't have up for a little while. I think they came up last week. Is we always had Connect Your Autoresponder. This walks you through how to actually connect your email list to the capture pages so you can build your list. And then step 2 is the compliance training. So this will take you through it's this very structured compliance training. You have to understand when you're creating compliance training, it has to be very by the book. It has to be very legal. If when you guys go through this training, you'll see that it's very legally inclined. It's like it takes you through and it sounds like a lawyer's talking to you, like this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do. The biggest thing to note as an affiliate is just use income disclaimers, okay? Like there's a lot of jargon, there's a lot of things in these videos that kind of could scare some people, honestly, because it's like here are all the rules of the industry, because they have to go like to the maximum extreme, right? To the extreme of what people possibly could do to hurt the company or hurt this business. And we have to put that on the table. So that's how this training is kind of created. We try to make it as soft as possible, but you have to go over the rules, right? And there's a big, if you imagine the law, there's like a big book of rules. So it's hilarious. When I watched the training, I was like, man, this is kind of like a hardcore training on legal stuff. But just the biggest thing as an affiliate is income disclaimers, income disclaimers, income disclaimers. If you're posting someone's results, if you're posting one of these testimonial videos I'm going to show you, just make sure that you include an income disclaimer below that video. There's training in here that shows you exactly how to use income disclaimers. It's one of the videos talks about income disclaimers. And the rest of them, you see that it's actually 5 videos. So one of these, this one is about income disclaimers, the second one. So you'll go through, these different videos, learn about all the different legal things, and then at the end you'll actually get a certificate and you'll be able to complete the compliance training. So pretty cool. And the biggest thing there is really we want our people to be educated. We want to be legal. We don't, we want this business to be around for a long time. So that's why we spent the time to actually create compliance training and have people go through it. And to be honest, most companies don't, and that's why they don't last. And that's why, they don't grow to the point where they could, is because they just don't take the time to care about that kind of stuff. So I'm really proud of the fact that we do. So anyways, the next piece, and this is actually what Joe talked about in the update, is watching this marketing links walkthrough. So I actually had my assistant create a really great video, and this is actually the wrong video, so that's a problem. So I'll have to put the right video in here. So
it's a process.
Make a nice little note of that. That's the wrong video.
You just saved somebody from freaking out over it.
Yeah, right. What is the video? Well, the good thing is the domain name video is the right video. Okay, so probably tomorrow morning, after I chew somebody's butt, this video will be the right video, and you guys will be able to watch it. But it's about a 20-minute video that walks you through exactly how to use everything on this page. So it's how to use the capture pages, how to use the editing options, just all the different things, and really how links work in general. Like what I just showed you guys as far as how the tracking links work, and how you can add different codes to the end and track in the marketing stats section. All of that stuff is actually included in this step 3 training when she walks you through there. So I'll make sure that gets updated tonight, and you guys can watch that in the morning, the walkthrough of that. So the next piece is probably just where I just was. Oh, the fast start section. So let me just show you some of the new things that we've added into the reseller training. So we have now a fast start training that's in here, and this is very similar to the pre-launch, but the point of this is really to get people results fast, right? The name of the training. So that when people get started, they have something very simple to do that can actually get them results. And this is what generated most of the results in the pre-launch, is people just doing these very simple things, using Facebook, using email, contacting leaders, and buying traffic. So we're going to be updating a few of the resources in here, like the contacting leaders affiliate page is actually going to get updated here in the next week with just new resources. We're essentially phasing out the pre-launch sales funnel now that we have everything in place, and we're going to replace it with some new sales funnels that are going to be coming out here in the coming weeks. And obviously we have sales funnels that are working now as well that you can use in the meantime. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming, but this is one of them. Is when people go through the process, they're going to get this fast start training, and they're going to be able to start actually making money right away by doing the actions inside here. So pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then one other training that we included in here for anyone that's brand new that doesn't know about how to broadcast their list, we actually added a training about how to broadcast your email list. So this is another one that's brand new that you can watch, and this is actually inside the marketing plan as well. So I'll review the marketing plan here in a minute, and I'll show you where this is inside there. And yeah, that's cool. So the next thing that is brand new is the reseller resources. So this is similar to what we had inside pre-launch, only all of these resources are completely updated for the live site now. So they don't mention the pre-launch or anything like that. So as we grow, there'll actually be a lot of different resources in here. Like, we're planning to add resources next week. I'll talk about that here shortly. And then there'll be new emails and banners and all kinds of things in both sides. So you can see we actually have business opportunity resources where you can get the Facebook messages, banners, all these different things in here, and then retail resources as well. So eventually there'll be banners for retail. He's actually designing them right now. And then you can see there's already emails and all these things. So these are actually resources we didn't have before is retail resources. So that way if you're going out and you want to sell traffic packages, you can go out and you can actually talk to people about the traffic packages and have a script to use. And obviously you don't have to use the script word for word. We've always said that. You just go out and you make it fit you, but it gives you a starting point, right? You can go out and you can start talking to somebody, even if you're brand new. You can just share this script with them and start getting them interested and start the conversation, and then go from there. So it just gives you a nice starting point and something to talk about if you're not familiar with everything. So the last thing on here is the daily business opportunity emails. This is actually a folder that, like I said, Darren Hanser actually updates this every day. So he adds new emails in here that you guys can use. And we'll actually, this will grow over time. Like in my previous company, the previous business we built, we actually had hundreds of emails in here. It was after a year or so. This is literally a folder that just will evolve over time and continuously grow and grow and grow and grow. And there'll just be an unlimited amount of emails really that you can use on a daily basis. So you never not have content. That's the point, is you always have something that you can use in your marketing. You don't have to think about it, especially if you're new and you don't know what to write or you don't know what to say. You can just always come to this folder and you can find an idea. You don't have to copy it word for word. Just find an idea and say, oh, I can fit my story into that, or I like that. I'm going to take it and change a few words in it and send it out to my list to make it fit me. And that's going to be very effective for you. So you don't have to think so much and you don't get hung up, because the biggest thing that you can do is consistency. It's making sure that you send out emails every day. It's making sure that you do marketing every day. And this gives you the ability to do that without having to spend a lot of time or think very much, especially if you're brand new. So the next thing in here is the prospecting webinar. So you see this resource in here. This is actually a webinar that you can promote every single week. We're going to continue doing it. Right now we're doing them live. I think eventually they'll be recorded. Once we get a really, really good one, we'll set it on autopilot, and every single week it'll play. And then we'll just update it from time to time with new content, new testimonials, things like that. So I think this week it's actually going to be Joe and Vince on the webinar. So Vince actually has a webinar that he's been doing that's been very effective for his team and for him making sales. He's obviously our top producer. He's made almost $200,000 in the past month and a half. So he's definitely an authority as far as doing these webinars, because that's what produced all his sales. So we're actually going to bring him out this week in 2 days to do this webinar for you. So I definitely recommend that you promote this webinar. Okay, there's 3 different emails in here that you can send to your list on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you click on these, you'll see. Maybe. All right, so you see here's the link that you actually promote here at the top. It says topsecretmeeting.net, and then you put your username at the end. And you just send out the email, and you customize your link where all these links are. So click here to register for the webinar. That would be your link. So just make sure that you go through and you change those links, and it just gives you exactly what to say to invite people to the webinar. And there's a lot of different ways you can invite people: your email list, your Facebook list, posting it on your Facebook, all those things. And I think next week Vince is actually going to teach some other strategies that we can use to invite people that are really cool, and they're working really well for his team too. So good stuff. All right, let me see where we are. Showed you all this. All right, let's get in. So this is a really cool thing that we just added today that most people don't know about yet. So, and this is like super exciting. Gets tons of results for people. So I'm excited for you guys to have this. It's the testimonials. So obviously, since the launch, we've had a lot of success stories. We've had a lot of people make money for the first time. They've made little money. They've made big money. And we put all of those onto testimonial pages. So any of you guys that sent us videos, we took nearly all of them. I mean, I took as many as I could find and gather up and put them onto pages so that anyone can use them. So if you come into here, this gives you content that you can use every single day. If you're wondering what to send in an email, you don't have to think anymore. You just come in here and you look at the different stories and the different videos and you pick one that you like, write a little blurb about what the results were, and send it out to your email list or post it on your Facebook or share it with a friend. Anything that you're doing, these are things that you can insert into your marketing and use them to help generate more sales, because social proof and people actually getting results is what sells more than anything, because that belief level, when somebody sees that somebody else has done it that's just like them, they see that the 65-year-old grandmother has made money online for the first time, they believe they can do it. They see that the single mom has made money online for the first time and they're a single mom, they believe that they can do it, and they get started. And the reality is they can do it. We have all the tools here to actually make money, and I've seen people in this company right now make money that have never made money before just by following the daily plans. It's literally that simple, and it's all about that consistency of just doing it every single day. And the people that do that, eventually they'll figure it out and they'll start getting results, and then they can just keep doing what's working and scale the results. So it's funny, but that's literally the key to success in this business and really any business. It's figuring out how it works, following the plan, and just being consistent. It's hilarious, but it works, right? Mm-hmm. So take these videos, start using them in your marketing. There's enough videos here that you can literally do it every day for the next 60 days. And then we're going to be adding new videos as we go. So as people send testimonials, we'll continue adding to this library of testimonial videos, and you'll always be able to come in here and grab new content and share it with your list. So that's really
Adam, all of these individuals, so if it's me or if it's Kara or Earl, this is all coded, right? So if you send one of these stories out, it is coded to you. They're gonna click a buy now button. They're gonna go through a funnel, and so this is really, really powerful stuff, right?
Yeah. So this is how it works.
Junior. For the last 7 years, I've been able to go full-time online as an entrepreneur. And what I want to tell you right now, this system that you're about to see, Traffic Authority, it's the quickest and easiest way I've ever seen anybody be able to become an online sales professional. And let me just tell you this: in the first 5 days after promoting Traffic Authority, I've made $50,000. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do that right out the gate. I've been doing this thing for a while, but what I'm so excited about is that for the first time in my life, I can see that the average person, right, the person that has no clue how to do anything online, they can come in here, tap into the system, and absolutely have amazing and phenomenal results over the next 30, 60, and 90 days. And so I'm just super excited for you to tap in to Traffic Authority.
Hey, so that's it. So it's that simple. It's just a little pre-sale video, and when somebody sees that, they're like, wow, somebody did it. This guy made $50,000 in 5 days. And for some people, that won't be realistic. That's why we have literally a huge span of videos. We have everywhere from somebody making their first $100 to making $50,000 in 5 days. So there's all kinds of different videos that will speak to all kinds of different people. And when they see the right one, the one that they're like, wow, that's like me, and wow, I believe that this can actually be real, they click here to continue. It'll take them over to the sales page, and they can actually get started.
Awesome.
So, yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Way cool.
What else we got? Oh, daily promo emails. I already talked to you guys about those. And then the marketing plan. So I actually created an updated marketing plan that we released today as well, so you guys can follow this. And what we changed about this marketing plan, so for October, the marketing plan doesn't have anything based on pre-launch at all. Basically, we're in the next phase, right? That's the point of this. So here in this October daily marketing plan, it's all about things that are actually inside the back office, because like I said, we're phasing out that pre-launch sales funnel, and we're going to just be using things that are actually inside the main back office. So it's very similar to what we had before. It gives the resources that we use on a daily basis, our Facebook group, our daily calls, and our training webinars, and then it takes them through exactly what to do. So connecting with your personal contacts. So it takes them through the fast start videos first, because those are the easiest ways to make money. So the first 3 are totally focused on those fast start videos. And then sharing testimonial videos. So the testimonial videos I just showed you, that's something you should be doing every single day, because those testimonial videos, when people see the results, that's what's going to generate the most sales. So always be sharing testimonial videos in everything that you do, even if it's in a PS line or whatever. Just share them all over the place, and these are the things that pull in the sales more than anything. And I put this just here as a reminder. Make sure that you use an income disclaimer. Individual results will vary. See our average earnings at taearnings.com. So pretty simple. And then we have sending a daily broadcast to your email list. So this is a new training that we just did on how to send a broadcast to your list. So you can click here to actually access the broadcast, or to watch that training. If you're brand new, you've never sent a broadcast, you don't know how to email your list, you can click on that. And then we have the emails you can send every single day, and then Darren Hanser's email marketing bootcamp. So the idea here in the daily marketing plan is to give somebody all the resources they need to actually do this themselves without really having to think, right? It's like you could literally follow the steps, and anyone who's even brand new could follow the steps. They would know exactly what to do, and they just literally point and click and copy and paste. And you can start getting traffic, you can start generating leads, and you can start making sales. So that's the whole point here. And this thing will evolve over time. Like I said, I'm having Vincent actually shoot some videos right now of what's working for him and his team. So next week we're going to release some of that stuff to our members. And that stuff, this will just evolve, right? We'll just add that in here. It'll just be another method that somebody can use. But for now, these methods are getting results for people, right? These are just the things that you should be doing on a daily basis consistently that will continue getting results for you. So the last thing, contacting your members. This is something you should always be doing as soon as you start bringing people into the business. Reach out to them, connect with them, find out what their why is, find out why they're doing the business, and really help them. That's the whole point of reaching out to your team. It's not to sell them something. It's to help them get started so that they see the value. And if they see the value and they want to build a business, they're going to buy product. They're gonna make the commitment. But let them, they'll do it on their own time, right? They'll see it, they'll get committed, and they'll actually make the moves when they're ready to. So just keep that in mind. The more you help people, the more money that you'll make in the business. So just do whatever you can as soon as you get members to actually help them get started, and you're going to go really far. So that's it for this piece. Now, I want to kind of go into talking about what's going to happen next week, unless you have anything, Joe, to comment on before we go there.
This is just amazing, and I'm seeing some people right now commenting that this is amazing stuff. They love the testimonial pages. This really is done-for-you marketing at its best. We talk about the value that we had with Darren last week, and the fact that he has written such strong material and putting it out there for people like me and many of us who are just now getting involved in this type of work. It really says so much about what is going on here. And I just got to thank you again. I know you have a lot more material here, but ladies and gentlemen, this is unbelievable. This has never been done before. This is a new day in the realm of what it is that we do for a living. And just get ready for, and I'm really excited about what you're going to share with us next about what does happen in the next week, the next 10 days, the next 30 days as we hit into this momentum phase, right?
Yeah. So a couple different things are going to happen next week, and the first one is what I'm most excited about, as somebody who understands the power of using, basically what we just talked about, the testimonial videos. It's the stories of our members that really sell, that really prove it to people that the business is real, and that convert the highest. Any of you guys that know about the internet marketing, conversions are king. When your sales videos and your sales funnels are working really, really well, you're going to make a lot of sales. You're going to make a whole lot more money than if they're not. So, and I know that the sales funnels, from my experience, the ones that work the best and the things that work the best are the ones that are actually from the members, from the leaders, and those kind of people. So next week, we're actually going to release our premium reseller license. So this is something that we've been working on for a long time, and we're actually working on it with the leaders like Vince and some of our other leadership team. And the point of this, basically the upgraded reseller license, is to provide the best stuff from all of our leaders, and to give them really a platform to give you their best stuff, like their best sales funnels, their best training, their best resources, everything that they would normally hold in, right, and just only keep for their team or keep for themselves. All those little secret things, right? Like the secret of what makes Vince make so many sales, right? Like what the hell is it? I don't know. But we're gonna know. right? Because he's now motivated by this premium reseller license and kind of the way we've structured this. And I'll explain to you guys the way that we've structured it that makes it so powerful. But really, the bottom line is we're going to have the highest converting sales funnels from the leadership, like Vince, like Eric, like all these guys that are making it happen, and we'll actually be able to use their best stuff. So like Vince, like I said, he's going to be releasing some training. And maybe, Vince, you can come out and talk about it if you want to, but I know that he's really excited about it. So.
Yeah, man, I just, Adam and I, we've been working on this thing for a month now, I think already. It's crazy since we started the funnel and things like that. And so, it's just exciting because my last business 2 years ago, I made a funnel and it worked really good. But like what Adam's creating with my story and what we've been doing over the last month, I just feel like this thing is going to be what I was able to create in my last business times, 1,000. And so it's going to be really exciting. I mean, that funnel that was probably like, I compare it to kind of like a little baby compared to a grown man as to what we're doing now with Adam. It's like that funnel took my last business from 0 to 40,000 people in 3.5 months. Okay. Yeah. And so when we're talking about, creating funnels that really produce results, and Adam's talking about going from 5,000 members to 15,000 members over the next 30 to 60 days, that's like small numbers, and he's not trying to overinflate things. That's actually small in comparison to what could happen if we get this thing nailed out properly. And so that's the exciting part. What I want you guys to realize, what's actually opening up in the back office with these new funnels and the new training and the new systems and the marketing that's happening, it's just exciting, because literally 15,000 in my eyes, and even in Adam's eyes, that's actually the small numbers. It's just to be able to tell you guys something that is definitely going to be achievable in our eyes, right? And so, I'm just excited, man. I don't think that I've ever done this good of work, especially, and I haven't had somebody to be able to work with like you, Adam, one-on-one over this, time. And then, the way that the back office is set up now, after you're going over it, and I'm seeing it in my back office, I didn't know that was there yet. It's just exciting because nobody's able to track like that. Nobody's able to do things the way that we're able to do now with Traffic Authority. And so I just feel like, it's one of those things. You guys who have been here in the pre-launch, and you've seen all the things that has been leading up to this position. Yeah, it was fast, it was crazy, it was exciting, and some people even think, oh, we lost a little momentum. What you guys don't realize is that that's how everything works. It goes big momentum for opening, and then there's like this phase of 30 to 45 days of building, and then the explosion happens. Same thing happened in my last business, okay? And so that's the exciting part. The next 30 to 60 days, it's going to be fast, it's going to be crazy, it's going to be wild, and it's going to be fun. And you guys are going to really, for you to be here now, to be positioned properly, to be positioned at the 47, the 97, and the highest traffic packages that you could possibly get to, it's very, very, very important that you do what you can do to stretch, okay? Because the next 30 to 60 days is really where the 6-figure and 7-figure earners will be set up, that foundation. And so, like I said, this opportunity is going to be great 6 months from now, but it's the best it's ever going to be over the next 30 to 60 days for you guys to get really positioned for this momentum that's about to take place. And so it's going to be crazy up until like, beginning of December, I think, and maybe like middle December to like January 1st to January 20th will be kind of chill a little bit. It'll be more family environment. And then January 20th again is going to start in the momentum phase. I don't know if Adam aligns with my vision on that, but that's what I've seen. Yeah. And so it's crazy, bro. I mean, we've been in this industry long enough to realize when these momentum phases hit. And this right now, it's crazy. Everything's coming together at the perfect time. Literally, right now, I'm not kidding. Like October 10th and beyond, it's for some reason things just light up. Yeah. And it's crazy. So it's all coming together at the perfect timing, too. So it's very cool. And so that's just kind of my little, vision being here in the industry over the last 7 years. I know what's about to happen, what you guys don't realize out there who maybe haven't been that deep into the industry. I mean, we're talking like things are going to happen, but you're about to get to experience it. And it's exciting for you guys because most of the time people don't get to experience these things because they see things a little bit too late, right? They'll get in when momentum is kind of like, kind of cruising, but they're not in the momentum when it's like literally shifting. It's just insane. So I'm excited about it, man, especially like Adam was saying, with the reseller license, it motivates guys like us to put a lot of our content in here for you guys that we normally wouldn't, because the incentives are awesome for you guys as well, becoming leaders, as you'll see leadership bonus pools and things like that come out too, and the prizes that they're giving away. Adam and I were talking about contests they're going to be doing for you guys, even if you haven't made sales yet, and it's just really neat. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that stuff, but, Adam, at the end of the day, all I know is that people haven't seen nothing yet, and the timing is so perfect, bro. It's just so perfect. So, I'm just pumped up, man.
Yeah, and that's like you said. I mean, the cool thing about that this upgraded reseller license, it is, obviously it's an upgrade, so it is going to cost money to get the upgrade and all these different resources. But the beauty of the upgrade is all of it goes back into you guys. So like we created literally this premium reseller license. And the reason why it's going to work so well and why Vince is excited about it and why all the leadership wants to contribute their stuff to it is because it actually, all the money from it goes back into the leadership. It goes back into the members, into you guys. Basically what we're doing is we're taking all that money, and we talked about, leadership bonus pools at the beginning when we were talking about launching the company. We're going to have bonus pools for all the leadership and everybody who's rising up through the ranks, even the 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, and people who are rising up through those ranks. We're going to have bonus pools that will actually benefit you guys. So as you start to rise up in different leadership levels, you'll start to qualify for pools, and you'll be able to benefit from those pools. And obviously once you build up even higher, you'll be able to qualify for the higher ones. The other thing that we're doing with that money is we're taking basically we're taking one portion of it and it's going into leadership pools. The other portion is going into contests. So the way that we're structuring our contests now, and Vincent and I had a great talk today about how to structure these contests and how he's done it in the past in his companies and how I have in the past, and how we're kind of like going to merge these two ideas and create something that's just amazing for everyone. Because the reality is we don't, obviously we want to, reward leadership and people that are actually taking the action they should be. And normally a lot of those contests, they're very favored towards the leaders. Even our first contest, it was favored towards the leaders. I'm sure a lot of you guys know. And that's why and you have to do that. Obviously you want the people who are making the most sales and pushing the hardest and doing the best work to get some of those prizes. But you notice that we actually mixed in some iPads. We were giving away little things to people who were taking actions, right? People who are sending in testimonials, people who are doing things on a daily basis, and taking the actions that are actually necessary to build your business. So we want to reward the people that are actually taking action, not necessarily making sales or making the most sales or making the most money. It isn't all about that, right? It's about starting to build a business and getting started and actually doing what needs to be done to build a business. So these new contests that we're holding and the money that comes from this reseller license is actually going to go more towards, and a big portion of it will go towards people who are brand new, people who are starting to work the business. And the way that we're going to do that, and this is just a preview to next week. Next week we'll explain all of it in like absolute detail, points, everything, how you make money. But just to give you guys a little preview, it's, there'll still be bonuses for the big guys, the big prizes for the biggest producers. But we're actually going to have drawings and giveaways for people who just take specific actions, like people who complete the daily plan, people who attend the calls, people who do the things that we ask them to do in the company that's going to help them grow their business, people who hit 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. They're going to get points in this contest, and anyone who gets above certain points, we're actually going to have drawings. So let's say you completed your daily plan every single day for the entire time the contest was running. You attended all the calls, you attended all the webinars. We're actually going to have a way in your back office that you can go back there every single day and tell us what you're doing. So if you completed the daily plan, you go into the back office, you click a button that says, hey, I completed the daily plan, I get a point. I sent out 20 Facebook messages today, I get a point. I did this certain strategy in the daily plan, I get a point. I attended the calls, I did all these different things, I get 3 or 4 or 5 different points. Okay? So the point of that is so that everybody can actually get points in the contest regardless of if they make sales or not. And so that way you can get to 50, 100, 200 points, and maybe you'll make some sales in between. But the point is, at the end of the day, let's say it's the end of the week and we say, hey, we're going to give away 5 iPads this week to anybody who got over 100 points for the week. You might not have made any sales, but you came in and you did the actions that we asked you to do. You took action in your business, you generated leads. You may not get sales yet, but the sales are going to come down the road. We know that. We realize that the brand new guy is probably not going to make 1,000 sales in their first week. They might generate 10, 20, 30, 40 leads, and they take the actions that we tell them to on a daily basis. Well, to me, that deserves a reward. That deserves somebody getting something for taking that action. So that's what we're going to reward in these contests, especially going forward. I'm sure we'll perfect it over time. But next week, we're actually going to come out with a contest where anybody can win. Okay, anybody can win prizes just for taking the actions that they need to on a daily basis to get results. And maybe the results don't come right away. Maybe they come a week or 2 down the road. But just for taking those actions, you can win prizes. You can win money. You can win iPads. You can win whatever it is. We're going to have all kinds of prizes that we're giving away. But the coolest thing about it is anybody can take part, anybody can win just for taking action like they should be. So what do you think, Joe? Pretty cool?
Yeah, that's way cool. I love that because, we focus always on the big earners, right? The people who make the most money, they get the most attention. Yeah. But I love the fact, and like today, this guy, Chris Brewington, he actually won an iPad and he made one sale. But I like the fact that people will get rewarded, and this is what I'm getting, right? People get rewarded even if they didn't make a sale. They get rewarded because they sent 50 emails or they posted some Facebook. I love this. I love this idea. I've seen this actually in play before, and it is ginormous because it's a level playing field. And now people, because what I do know is that if people take action, they get the results. Yeah. Vincent, one day was your first day. And you said that you went, I don't know, a couple of years before you actually had a legitimate sale and struggle, and then you're investing. And so, everyone starts somewhere. Right. And I know in Traffic Authority, if people will just start and just take action and do the simple thing, the result must come. It's like a law, right? I mean, you don't argue with the fact that gravity, that if you drop a bowling ball, it's going to hit the ground, right? It's a law. And if you do the simple things here, you'll have results, period, end of story. Yeah. And I love the fact that in your concept, we're actually energizing people and rewarding people for doing the things that are going to make the money, that are going to build a list, that are going to generate a lifestyle.
Well, and the cool thing, and this is what most people don't realize, is the people who are actually taking action and doing these things, they're top 5%ers. That's the reality, is 95% of people do nothing. So why would we not reward the top 5% who are doing something, who are, if they stay consistent and are going to keep going, they'll make money. They'll build a business. If as long as you don't stop, and you keep learning and you keep growing and you keep taking action, you'll build a business. Exactly. You'll make money. I mean, it's that easy. It's that most 95% of people quit before they make money. So we're just trying to incentivize you to keep going, to keep being consistent, and eventually have this business that you dream about, because it will happen if you stay consistent and you keep doing it.
It is. It's so wild too, man. Like when I did it in my company, it was like these people who didn't make sales their first couple months but kept doing the actions, they were winning cool prizes, all of a sudden they started becoming our next leaders. And so what people don't realize is this kind of helps, that mentality, get over that, I got to make money in my first 30 to 60 days, right? Because as long as they're taking the actions, getting the points, they're winning. And so for those of you guys out there just knowing this, the psychology, it's all about the small wins. And so when you can get people start to think about the small wins, including yourself as leaders, and Adam and Joe and everybody, we always celebrate our small wins. Just for example, Adam's celebrating right now this back office getting done, and so you can feel the relief off of him right now, and so it's just one of those things. We recognize this stuff, and if we can implant that into your guys' lives, the psychology factor that we just kind of live and breathe with every single day, that's going to help you guys win. And so it's funny, our point system that we used in our last company was so bad. It was like you got to turn in these documents, and our assistants had to count it and all this stuff. Adam and his team can set it up to where it's all automated and you can see points and all this stuff. It's just going to be so cool to see it actually happen inside of a system that can actually create what the vision is, right? And so it's just really neat what's going to happen. And you're going to see, man, people will, for those of you guys who are out there, some of you guys may not make sales your first 30, 60 days, but you're putting in the actions, and all of a sudden as you're putting in the actions, you're getting these points, and you maybe are winning some prizes. All of a sudden, 90 days, 120 days in, you're starting to just really compound all those efforts, and the sales start rolling in, and it's just really cool, and what's going to happen. And the way you're going to see people who win prizes who really didn't, make the commissions, but they win in these prizes, and all of a sudden they become the next leaders that come into the company. And it's just really neat, the way the process will work. So I hope you guys are excited about that, for Adam and them to even allow this situation to happen too. So it's just cool.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, and just so you guys know that. Go ahead, Joe.
What I was going to say is, this morning we talked about this on our radio show. It's like, what else are you going to do? And in my closing remarks, I want people to consider, what are you going to do anyway? Where are you going to be in 3 months? Where are you going to be in 6 months? Where are you going to be in a year? What are you going to do? Are you going to be chasing the shiny new toy every single time a shiny new toy shows up? Or do you just lock in, participate, engage? That's what this contest, this thing is like engagement, right? You're engaged, you're doing simple things every single day, and next thing you know, you have people, your people are engaged, and the next thing you know, you're sitting at the top of a mountain of money. But what else are you going to do? Right? I know that people are already, oh man, I don't know, I'm going to be somewhere else 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. Traffic Academy, Traffic Authority is only going to be bigger than it is today. And in 2 years and 3 years, legends are going to be made here. I'm really, really passionate about this, man. What the genius behind this is just amazing, and the fact that the ordinary, if there is such a thing, right? Just the regular people who are just getting started can be rewarded. You know, years ago at a sales room, I was working in a sales room as a phone jockey, and I won some Sony black and white TV. At this time, I already had giant TVs all over my house, but this TV was so important to me, I lugged it with me everywhere I went. You know, I mean, it was just because it was like that reward. You know, I had won this special. Like, you ever see that movie Christmas Story where the guy wins the award and it's a woman's leg with the lampshade on it? You know, and important. That's what it's like, right? You win something like this in a contest like this, man, and suddenly you're celebrating wins. Brilliant, as they say on The Simpsons. Brilliant, right? Excellent, Smithers. Sorry for interrupting you there, Adam. I just get wound up when I hang with you guys because it's so cool.
No, I'm good, man. I was just, I really, it was nowhere close to what you said, so it's all good. It's not even valid now.
The lampshade. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good. If you guys are good, anything else you need?
One last thing since I got here, Vincent. So, and in a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to throw a slide up here that give you guys a little bit more information about where you can find us on the radio show and about the webinar coming up on Thursday. Now, Vincent, I happen to know that your webinars are crushing it. Okay, I know that they are because it's all over Facebook and the people are showing up on the radio show and they're like, it's almost like Saint Vincent Ortega, right? Because you've got this, dude, you've got this Midas touch. Okay, you've got this rock star thing going. So you're going to be the featured guy. Okay, this idea that. And you know, there are people here amongst us. We do have leaders who do extraordinarily well. And this idea, okay, of opening up an opportunity here with this premier reseller license is what inspires a guy like you, Vincent, to bring the goodies, okay, to bring the shit. And you're bringing your stuff on Thursday night, right? And ladies and gentlemen, remember at the end I'm going to show you what you have to do, because what you must do is invite as many of your prospects as you possibly can, and those individuals are going to be placed right in front of this guy. So Vincent, what is it, dude? What makes your thing a little bit different? I saw this thing that you were like dancing. You were like embarrassed yourself. I saw.
Oh,
what was that?
I don't know what happened to me last webinar. I started dancing for the last 5 minutes. It was hilarious. But sales just kept coming in as I was dancing, so I had to just keep dancing. No, it's just the difference really is there's nothing really different. It's just I have the credibility, right? You got to have the credibility. So bring people to a webinar where there's credibility. I've done like 1,000 webinars, so I just flow through them, and you know, it's just I know it works, and so it's kind of like massive amounts of failure. I mean, if you do 1,000 webinars, you're going to fail several times before you ever start to understand it. And I just really explained Traffic Authority very simple, very detailed, but also very quickly as well. And people just they see the vision, they get it, and that's why they're working so well. I mean, 99.9% of my income of the 100 and whatever 87,000 it is at, and pretty much 99% of our members is because of just getting to my webinars. And that's really what's sealing the deal. People are going through the capture pages, seeing the videos, but the people who aren't closing yet, they really just need that extra little touch. And so a webinar, that makes everything real. It makes it alive. It makes it, the transparency is there. And people just feel, my spirit. They know I'm real. They know I'm here to help people. And, that's the exciting part about the leadership bonus pools and stuff that, Adam's putting together is like, now with those, I'm incentivized to help the whole freaking company. And I want as many sales to go through the company as possible, because those leadership bonus pools will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I know at the end of the month, those checks are going to look very nice. And so that's really the thing. And so for those of you guys, in Traffic Authority, as you rise through the ranks, leadership bonus pools will be there for you guys as well. So we're all incentivized to help each other. And so it's just so cool the way that's going to work out, And I love leadership bonus pools and companies because of that. We're all literally, when you have those, we're all literally running together. And every single sale, we're all like, yes, 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 because we're all really, making money together when you start pushing yourself into those leadership bonus pool situations. But as far as the webinar, man, it's real, it's raw, it's simple, and, I'm super transparent in those things, and sometimes I even dance. So we have a lot of fun,
And Vince, normally in companies, those, really there can become separation amongst leaders. Because, if there is an incentive for people to come together and give up their stuff and really operate as one unit, they'll become teams and, literally they hate each other.
Yeah.
Because one team has this resource, the other team has this, the other team has, like Vincent, for example, so far even without the pools being here, Vincent has his own team, he has his own resources, he does his own webinars. Now it's totally different story. He'll still have his little stuff, but it's all coming in-house. All his sales videos, all his webinars, all these things are now available to you guys, where you can use everything. And it's not just Vince, it'll be all the leadership. You know, they're all bringing their best stuff. Vince is just the first one to come to the table. But everybody, as we go along, you'll have all the best resources inside this membership because everyone's incentivized to bring it. It just makes sense. Like it feeds itself. It's the greatest idea I think we've had so far. It actually made, and I hate to toot my own horn, but that's like it just made so much sense, and I think it's going to really drive a lot of growth. So
I'm freaking pumped about it, Joe. I mean, Joe, you've done several companies. I mean, what do you think this is going to do for the company?
Oh man, honestly, this is like something I've never seen before. I'm aware of companies who are at the billion-dollar level that have implemented some of the things that are coming to the table here. But they don't have the market share, the market size. It's still niche stuff, right? But when you're talking about traffic and you talk about 18 million retail customers out there in the world, and we've got people right now calling in from all over the world, it is amazing. I remember on one of the very first webinars that we did, Adam, you were talking about a company that currently, I think you said, is only in the capture page business. Right. And you said they're actually trading on the New York Stock Exchange. You know? And when you get into this thing, you know, things can happen so fast. As an old school guy, right? I made my first million before Al Gore invented the internet. You know what I mean? Just doing it old school. But the scale that you guys are playing in, right? When you talked about, Vincent, you talked about how fast, you know, that it can go crazy. Like Adam's predicting, okay, we can go from 5 to 15,000 members within the next 30, 45, maybe 60 days. And you're going, that's conservative because this can go like a mushroom cloud. And I see that. I see that really, really happening here. And the other thing I want to say is, you know, as far as webinars and marketing and all the skill sets that you guys are bringing to the table, it really is amazing what you're doing. And I was talking to, I think it was Greg Chambers, maybe about a month ago, and you know, we're both old school guys, and we're talking about possibilities and what can we really, really bring to the table. And I remember saying, dude, we should just take a look at what Vincent Ortega is doing. I mean, the guy is banking unbelievable, and he's having so much fun, and the way he rolls and the way he interacts and the engagement. And the next thing I know, boom shakalaka, I hear today we're bringing you out on Thursday. And so that power of just, I don't know, engagement of the community here, right? That's really what this is, man. You know, you showing up, and I know there are others, you know, Devon and Eric, and I know that Kit, and there are other guys right now, they're frothing, right? They're like chomping at the bit to get in here. So it's only the beginning of this, man. Like I said, where are you going to be anyway, ladies and gentlemen? Where are you going to be in 30 days, 60 days? Where are you going to be in a year?
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is we talk about momentum, and everybody thinks, oh, it's just momentum for the company, it's just momentum for the leaders, all those things. But the reality is if you get in front of that wave, if you just start promoting now, you can ride that wave to your first big success. And even if your first big success is $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 in a month, that's a big win. That's a big first success, and you can build on that. So you may not hit 100,000 in a month like some of the leaders here will during the momentum phase, but if you hit 5,000, 10,000, it's huge. It's like my first $10,000 was huge for me on the internet. I literally left my job, went full time. Like as soon as I made my first $10,000, I was done. I said, I'm done. I'm doing this for the rest of my life. And look what happened. I did. So it's like that kind of a win, even if it's a small win, can drive you to change your entire life. So just realize that. And take advantage of the momentum. Get in front of it and get whatever result that you can. Just capitalize and take as much action as you possibly can during this time, because that's what will get you where you want to go. So.
And Vincent, if I can pull you in here for a comment, you know, because I've heard you say many times you've talked about stretching, right? Like stretching. And I'm a guy who's gone to the pawn shop a couple times, like in the last decade, okay, because I had a stretch, because I had something I wanted to do. Took like a pirate, right? All my stuff, Rolex watches, diamonds, the whole thing, right? Because I wanted to stretch, because I knew that it was going to get me somewhere. And right now, when you talk about this opportunity and the fact that we have this explosion, you see it, okay? It's like you've been tipped off. A tsunami is coming. You know, what do you say to the people who are sitting there right now who are $20 into the deal? They're a reseller. Or maybe they're like, okay, I'm in here for $47, and I hear these guys with this academy piece, and okay, what do you say to those guys, knowing what you know and what you see coming?
I just think you got to stretch as big as what your vision is, right? And so for those of you guys that want to make $10,000 a month, you're not going to get it done with a $220 basic package, all right? You're not going to get it done with a $47 a month membership. You gotta know the skills. You gotta know exactly what you're doing, and so you gotta go to the $97 a month membership for that. And then $220 basic package. I mean, come on, that's just like 200 people. That's nothing. And so for me, you know, I always talk about my personal story. I don't just talk from just saying stuff, right? I talk from, you know, actually where I've been before. And I didn't have any results in my life until I did a $5,000 package, and this was several years ago. And this was just air. This wasn't traffic. This wasn't anything. This was literally I was buying a $5,000 opportunity. I got nothing. I got nothing out of that. All right. I literally just got something to sell, and then I had to go do my marketing. Now, when you buy a titanium package, you're getting like 4,500 people or whatever it is, 4,000 people. I mean, it's crazy. And so, you know, I want you guys to know, and I want you to realize, if you really want to move your life into that next level, it's not about being at the basic, the silver, and even the gold. I mean, you really want to get up there as high as you possibly can. If you can only make it happen, then you got to start where you can start, right? But like Joe was saying, what do you got around the house that you could go sell at a pawn shop, right? What do you got? Literally, go to Google right now and type, you know, easy to find credit cards or easy to get loans. Literally, start searching, start figuring out how you can stretch in this business, right? So you can grow to the vision that you guys have. A $10,000 a month vision is going to take more than a $220 basic package, all right? It's going to take a little bit of money, and it's going to take a little bit of effort and time, but you're going to get to that point as long as you can start to invest properly, and as long as you can stretch a little bit. Like I always talk about, bow and arrow, man, the further you stretch it back, the farther that bad boy is going to go, and that's kind of like the way that our lives are. The further you can stretch yourself and do like maybe a little bit of debt, whatever, the farther you're going to go, because you're going to pull out things in your life that you didn't even know were there. As soon as I made that $5,000 purchase, I went $2,500 in debt, and I put $2,500 on my credit card, and for some reason that really just made myself to that point where I was like, man, I have to get this done. I also had a baby on the way, 6 months coming down the road, so I knew that, hey, if I didn't get this done, I was literally going to have my parents raise my child, and that wasn't going to happen. And so literally between that debt and that literally my baby coming at the same time, it pulled out things out of my life that I really didn't know were possible. And I started doing webinars every single day, man. And I just pulled out things that I didn't even know I could do. And so when you put yourself in a situation, you stretch a little further, you're going to start doing and achieving and really kind of looking at yourself like, damn, I'm better than I really thought I was, because you're going to pull out things that you didn't even know were there. And so just stretch, man. Just go to wherever you can go. But literally, you got to go to where you think you can go and then push yourself a little bit further. And I promise you that's going to get you to the place you want to go. So Mama's actually at my door right now. She's saying, hey, bro, it's Taco Tuesday time, so I got to get out of here. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just appreciate you guys so much. Adam, appreciate our, you know, behind-the-scenes talks, brother. And Joe always being here for us, always running the community. Doug, Greg, everybody else, man, and all the programmers and developers. This thing is going to be just something that all of us are going to look back from and say, look, that's really, truly when my life changed. Even for the company owners, I believe it's going to be that same situation too. You know, this is the best idea I think that you guys have all ever collectively done together. I know this is the best decision I've ever made to promote this business. And I know all the people that are customers and now affiliates of this product, you guys, your lives are going to change. And so I'm just excited, man. It's time to grow, baby.
Yes, it is, and thank you very much. Enjoy those tacos, and we'll see you Thursday night here on the next webinar that we do. You're awesome, and I salute you. Thank you again, Vincent. You're amazing.
Appreciate you guys so much. Peace.
All right, talk to you soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do, I only got one more thing I want to share with you before we excuse ourselves for this evening. And let me do this. Let me share this screen. You guys can see this screen. I'm pretty sure that you can. Okay, so here's what you have to do next. Our next webinar, our next live webinar event. There it is. Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a prospecting webinar, okay? We just talked about that. It's going to be the material that Vincent is using to make all of this money. Watch for your swipe files, okay? We're going to be sending you guys, as a matter of fact, earlier tonight, you saw where you can find the swipe files for you to send to your list. So your list will be invited to this webinar on your behalf. There is a unique registration URL that's going to attach your prospect to your account, and there it is. topsecretmeeting.net/your username. That is available for you. You'll be able to find that in the swipe files. And one more thing. The ninjas do meet at 11 a.m. at radioleverage.com. Okay? And I'm going to show you exactly where to find that. Here we go. radioleverage.com. Every morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. There's the number. We'll be there tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be answering some questions. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be going through exactly, you know, what we went through here this evening. We're going to be doing some reminders, and of course, it's a great opportunity for you to come out there and share your story, right? And share what's going on in your world and in your. I mean, everything is expanding so quickly. You know, you got to check out this radioleverage.com. Even those of you guys who are doing other things, and just listen to it in the background, because every single day we are hearing from real people having real results, both financially and personally. They're growing, they're connecting. It really is a great place, and it's a great way for you to stay connected to the community and start your day, okay? The Traffic Authority way. There it is. We're done. I think we're done, Adam. I think we're done, huh?
Awesome, man. Thanks so much.
I'll see you guys. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. And remember, Thursday night, Vincent's going to rock the house. Adios.
Bye.